It's raining. Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here. And the topic for today on Morning Dew is Dare to Venture. Dare to Venture. Now, I'm using the story of the prodigal son. It's a lost son, but we commonly say the prodigal son because he became wasteful. The younger son, the lost son. I'm using that story today. You can find that in Luke 11. Now, here is the thing about the story of that prodigal son. For many of us, we focus on the prodigal son. You see, we call it the prodigal son because of the interesting thing that happened to the prodigal son, how he went out, he ventured out of his father's house. He first asked for his inheritance. That is one. And after asking for his inheritance, then he ventured out from the father. So that is what comes to our mind when we think of that story. But I believe along the line, many of us are already seeing the fact that it is not so much the lost son that Jesus was addressing. More importantly, is the elder brother. The elder brother, because the prodigal son in this story was the one that had it good for him. The prodigal son in that story had it good for him. It is the elder brother that is to be pitied because he never ventured. He never, he never asked for what God could give, what his father could give him. He never enjoyed anything. At the end of the day, he still had to bear seeing his brother being celebrated. And so this morning, I believe the Lord is saying to someone, dare to venture. Don't be the elder brother that is afraid to ask for what life has to give. I have read the Bible. I have read the parables of Jesus and all that. And I see that as much as we're called to be good followers of Christ and all that, he doesn't seem to have good things to say about the well-behaved brother. It doesn't paint a good picture for the well-behaved brother who does not venture, who does not ask anything of life, who does not press God for something, who does not press beyond, right to the boundaries. Now, let me point out a few things that the prodigal son did that makes him, that makes what he did bad, because most of what he did was not even bad, was not labeled as bad. First is the fact that he asked to leave, that he left. No, the fact that he asked his father for his inheritance was never condemned by Jesus, was not frowned at by Jesus. What was frowned at was the fact that he ventured out. See, venture, dare to venture, but let it be within, your father's house. Let it be that all that you are asking is under your father. You can venture to ask for anything. Please, there's no reward for not asking. There's no reward for being just good boy and staying in the servants' quarters and being a good boy and staying there. Your father will just look at you and think that, okay, he's a good boy. But he knows that he wants something. He wants some life in the house. And it is that first brother. That's a prodigal son that they are the ones that bring the life in the house. As I said, the thing he did wrong was moving out of the house. So dare to venture. Only do not venture outside the house. When you're reading the story, there's a part that it says there that the prodigal son, when he took his inheritance from his father, it wasn't immediately he left. Took the inheritance, and then the Bible says after a while he left. After a while he left. Means it's possible to take it and stay in the house. Today the Lord is saying to someone, dare to venture. I have been one of the senior brothers, so I understand what I'm saying, and I know why I say it to you. Because if you look through the Bible, you will see that the parables of Jesus is talking about, for instance, about those who came early. About laborers who were waiting to receive something of the Lord. Let me not confuse it. About laborers who were waiting for someone to hire them, and that they were hired at the first hour, Then the master came again, hired at the 3rd hour, at the 9th hour, and then finally hired some people at the 11th hour. At the end of that story, it is those very senior brothers who had been hired as early as the 3rd hour that were displeased and were not happy, and that were chastised at the end of that story. Why? Because they have been so well behaved, they have done their work, they have been hired so early and all that. At the end of the day, the one that is coming at the 11th hour was about to receive the same thing that they have received. I have been 30 years in the Lord this year. I will be 30 years in the Lord this year. And there are those who are coming 2 years ago who are doing tremendously well and doing what I'm doing. Dare to venture. Dare to venture. That's what the Lord is saying to someone today. Dare to venture. Do not, hold it as if what God has given to you, that which God has entrusted into you, is for you to refrigerate. It's for you to keep and behold and be looking at. No, dare to venture. So one of the things, as I said, he did wrong was that he has to go. He took it and then he left. And then the second thing he did that I saw that he did very wrong was that he stayed too long out there. See, for those who fail God, who at some point they go wrong or something like that, the first thing you must know, if you have ventured outside the Father's house, if you have ventured outside the cover of God, you have intentionally gone into something, that this is not it. Don't stay long. At the time you are realizing you are wrong, immediately turn to the Father. There are many people who they know where they are is wrong. They know where they are is not where they should be. They know that from the time they turned away from God, things have gone so bad. But to go back, they are spending so long, to turn back and come to God. Immediately you realize that you have made an error. You were supposed to go left, you turn right because you did not trust God. As soon as you realize it and you see things are not going well for you, turn to Him. Don't wait until you're asking for them to give you pig's food. You know what it is? As in, even among, you are a believer, you are a child of God, but even then you ventured out, you left His cover. Then where you are, even among them, you are so wretched. You have gone among them, but you are faring so badly among them. So you already understand that you are wrong. You are in the wrong. The Lord is saying to you, that come back, come home. Don't be ashamed. That minute you realize it, turn back, come home. Don't wait until they begin to feed you pig's food, or you begin to even beg to eat pig's food. No, don't wait until that. Then the other thing is that that even though he was not, this is something good about him, and I liked about him. He was not confident. I think I said something like that a few days ago. He was not confident of the fact that he will be restored to his former position. He had lost his entitlement mentality. He was no longer thinking as a son would think. He was already thinking, okay, even if I will not come back as a son, I can't ask for the rights of a son from my father. That was what he asked for from the beginning. He knew his rights. He knew the position of a son. He knew that a son had the right to do this or that. So, but because he had left and he had taken all that belongs to him, he also knew something very important, that even though I no longer have the rights to demand for your for inheritance, to demand to be treated as a son, but I still know that, my father has servants. He still has that confidence that even if I cannot be entitled, yet I can rely on the mercy that God gives. Oh, this is so important. As I'm saying it to you this morning, it's so important that you realize that no matter what it is, dare to venture as much as possible. Just stay within the parameter. Now, if you have gone outside the perimeter that God sets for his own. You have gone outside his perimeter. Know that the day that you know that you have gone outside the perimeter, just turn to him. See, before you even get to him, he will run and come for you. He will make sure that it is easy for you to come back into the house. Before you change your mind, you will not have the chance to change. He will grab you, because the father ran out to go and meet his son and kissed him and dressed in those things that you love. Yeah, those things that you love so much that you went outside of God's cover, that you went outside, you left the Lord. The Lord will crown you with it. He will wear his ring on you. He will give everything that your heart had desired and made you to wander away in a different way, in a honorable way. So the Lord is saying to someone today, this morning, dare to venture. And when you venture, peradventure, you get out of the perimeter, immediately don't be afraid that what if I'm trying to venture, I miss it, I get out. The prodigal son did more than miss it. He missed it totally and went so far. Can yours be worse than that? The Lord is waiting for you to read. Yeah, I would tell a story before I round up. Yeah. There was okay, I think I told you day before yesterday, and the time has gone. I'll tell it another time. What I would like to say to you is that no matter how bad your situation is, no matter how low you are falling, just you will rise up. Don't be so afraid of falling. Don't be so afraid of falling that you do not venture. Don't be so afraid of the fact that you may offend God that you don't venture. He is not happy with those who don't. Push the limit. Push. Dare to do that thing which you want to do. And the Lord is ready to answer you, because that confidence with which you ask is faith. When you come to him and you ask boldly and you continue to demand based on his word, it is faith, and he honors faith. Thank you for watching this morning. The light is not so bright because it's raining. Hope to see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Thank you.